All right, well, I am back in Hanover today at this enormous Goodwill that I came to last week. We're gonna head in and see what we can find to buy and flip for a profit. Here we go.
My family calls it my superpower. It's my ability to see value in things that I can buy and flip for a profit. I'm the Crazy Wife Lady and welcome to my channel.
Okay, well, I figured that we would start with the giant wall of artwork at the front of the store and see if anything jumps out at us. Oh, that's a theorem. Look at that. It's very personalized, but it is a theorem. Mirror, that's pretty neat. There's a Carol Ludi collie dog. Not really see much. Looks like there is a hobbyist jack-o'-lantern. Kind of like this sun plaque for $4.99. It's made out of very heavy plaster, though. It's a deer place, St. Nicholas Square, through the woods. What is this? Is that a knife block? Not really sure. Here is a large-headed dog made from resin. There's a birdie plate. A photograph. Oh my goodness. I would not have pegged that for a photograph. Has a chip on it though. Let's see what's in the stack. A little toolware. Sweet bunny. Alright. Not finding much yet. These look like Viking. $1.99. At least this one is the honeycomb. I'm not sure about the clear one. $1.99. It's a bit of a stretch, but there's a little bit of money to be made there. And since we're not finding a whole lot, we at least have salt and pepper shakers. Ooh, look at this. Let's see. By Joey Inc. for Silvestri. I thought that this was one of those, I can't remember her name. Having serious issues. Do I look fat? It is kind of fun. It is Silvestri, though. They don't have a super high resale value. I picked up a vase not that long ago, though, and it did all right. So I think I'll grab this for $2.99. I like the texture of those, but they are, in fact, plastic. There's the $9.99 uranium glass plate. I'm not sure what that is. I guess it's a planner. What in the world of bird, but that strikes me as being like home color or something like that. I think these are photograph. Yeah, I knew that. My goodness, look at this. This is like King Santa of the animals. I think I looked at this the other day, though. Oh, that's funny. It is a music box. This looks like it is a souvenir piece from South America. $1.99. I love that it's pink. I've bought and sold one that was red before, and they don't do very well. At least mine didn't. Popsicle coin bank. Okay, here are some ladybugs. Is that for stamps? Yeah, that's a little stamp holder, $1.99. Not a very high dollar item. Okay, well, it's definitely a change of pace from the weekend. And I think we're gonna head up towards the checkout. I was getting ready to walk out and I noticed these guys. They're probably made in Japan. $3.99 for the pair. Oh yeah, look, they're Yukago. I'm surprised they're in decent condition. I don't see any chips or cracks on them. I don't know, I just... You know what? I think I will trade these for the salt and pepper shakers. That's what we're gonna do. Like there's more profit in those little kitschy vases than there is in these salt and pepper shakers. Now, if they were both amber, I would probably pick them up. But since one is, in fact, clear and it's a different pattern, I think I'm gonna leave them. Okay, so that trip to the Hanover Goodwill was a little bit anticlimactic. We didn't find a whole lot. When I got to the checkout, I realized that the vase that I had picked up, the pair of vases, one had the tail on the dog broken. So I ended up leaving them there. And all I got out of that trip was the Silvestri shelf sitter, I think is what it is. And I mean, that's worth $8 to $12. So it wasn't spectacular. I'm going to make a few dollars. But I decided to drive 40 minutes from the Hanover Goodwill to Hampstead, Maryland. I don't know why. And the whole time I'm driving here, I'm thinking, have I been here before? I don't know. But I just pulled in. It doesn't look familiar to me. It looks like a larger Goodwill, so I'm excited. We're going to head in and see what we can find. Here we go. Okay, well, right off the bat, this looks extremely promising because the shelves are super cluttered, and I love cluttered shelves. I know I'm kind of weird in that, but we have 2 praying hands here. I noticed that Tinkerbell is creeping in the back. Disney China Bank. She's missing her stopper. They have $5.49 on her. One of the things I have to keep an eye on is the prices when I cross the border, because Maryland has a tendency to be a little bit more expensive. Oh, look. I just sold some of those a few weeks ago. Authentic models, non-toxics. Yeah, these ones are in pretty rough shape, though. That's kind of sweet in the back. A little bit kitschy, but I see that there is a chip there on that, so we're gonna set that back. I did notice there is an Apple shelf sitter here, and I do pretty well with these shelf sitters. It's crazy. I guess they're a thing. So $1.49, we'll get the shelf sitter. Here is an M&M thing, $9.49. I don't know enough about that. What is this back here, though? Those are some marbles. Maybe we should hit that with the black light and see what happens. Oh, look at that. There's at least 2 in there that glow. Ooh, there's another one in there. Marbles are fun to play with the black light, especially when there's a whole bunch of them like this. I don't know a whole lot about marbles, though. I don't know, maybe I'll grab it. Yeah, we'll give it a shot. I like this candlestick holder, but it looks like it's a single. I don't see any friends. I don't know if it's really worth picking up a single. Oh, what is this? This is something factory. That's kind of cool. I like that punch design. There is some oxidation on that. There is an art glass vase here in the back that I'm going to pull out and take a closer look at. It actually has a Made in China sticker on the bottom, so I don't think I'm going to. Occasionally I will pick them up, but today it's not the day. I like the pattern on that. SE 1998. What in the world is this thing? $5.50. It's got a bird on it. It's like a picture of some sort. It's kind of weird and wacky. There's no markings on the bottom. I don't think I'm familiar with that. $5.49. Okay, so I got down and noticed the view. What is this going on here? They're kind of spendy. This one is $14.49. I've seen these before. Who makes these? Treasure Craft. Oh my goodness, look at them. The one in the back is $25. Unfortunately, I don't think that there's a whole lot of room there, but they are really cool. So I did pick up this Target lamp. It's a rainbow lamp. This Target rainbow lamp. And it lights up on the inside. There's a light bulb, so it kind of comes out all those stars and stuff. It's $6.49. I figured I can, sell it for more than $20. Well, I feel like we've struck out twice. I did get a jar of marbles. As I mentioned, I don't do very much with marbles. I know German marbles. I know how to recognize them, and a few other things, but I don't know a whole lot about marbles, so I'm not sure how that's gonna do. But I figured, you know what? Let's pay to learn a lesson, maybe. Hopefully it's a good lesson. But anyway, I've moved on. I think our total spender was $18. I've moved on. I've backtracked now, and I'm back in Hanover. Well, technically I'm in Cross Keys. And we are at the Heart thrift store. I have not been here in maybe a year or two. They have kind of different hours. I don't know if they've changed their hours, but every time I've come here, they've been closed. So they're open today. We're gonna head in and see what we can find to buy and flip for a profit. Here we go. Okay, so they are back to their normal hours. They're during COVID, and after COVID, they kind of had weird hours, but they are back to their normal hours, which makes me feel good. Now we have to walk down this very, very long walkway to the thrift store. That looks like a nice sugar bowl. Don't see any damage on it. The lid is taped on. It's M&Z Austria for only $2. I might consider picking this up if it did in fact have a creamer with it, but it does not. That has some damage on it. What is this? It looks like maybe Avon. It is Avon. Ah, you're not fooling me again. Alright, well, I'm not seeing much. I like that teapot back there. Oh, it has a chip on the inside. I forget who makes this. I can't remember if it's Hall. But that chip is just not going to work for me. Okay, well, I think that was strike 3. It's all about timing. It always is all about timing. Today, our timing was off. But anyway, it is 2:30 in the afternoon. I feel like I've been driving forever all over the place looking for a thrift store. And I think at this point, I'm probably going to make my way back towards the shop because Andrew had an auction pickup this week. All right, well, it's been a few days and we are back at the shop in the dark like normal. I don't know why I do this to myself, but I've got a pile of boxes over here to go through from the auction, and we are going to start going through those boxes so that I can get that stuff listed. So that's the plan for today. Here we go. There's the pile. It looks a lot more intimidating than it actually is. I'm not sure what is in these boxes. Those are just empties. There's not even anything in those boxes. So see, it looks more terrifying than it is. This is the stack that I purchased at auction most recently. It was about $600. It's a lot less than I normally spend, but since I am listing it all myself, I did not want to overdo it. So I'm going to unpack these boxes onto the cart and then we are going to get through them. Okay, so here is the first 2 boxes. I think this was 2 boxes that I unloaded. In the first box were these, I believe they are candlesticks. I think they're for pillar candles. They are signed Leon Applebaum. And I've actually bought and sold the perfume bottles in the past. Some of the glass from Applebaum can sell for hundreds and hundreds of dollars. These are clear. They're not as exciting as some of the colorful pieces, but they should sell for about over $100 for the pair. I suspect that this and this are of the same maker because they're in the same lot. They're very similar, but they're not signed, so it's kind of throwing me off a little bit. Oh wait, no, there is a signature right there. What does it say? Well, there, I saw it for a second. There we go. It says something else. Studio. RPM Studio. So maybe that's the studio that Leon Applebaum worked for. I don't know. But they are very similar. That means that this one must have a signature as well, and I just couldn't find it. So those were all together in a lot. And I really love the twist. It kind of reminds me of antique sandwich glass, I believe, are the ones that did the rope handle on a lot of pictures. Here we have 2 Mary Gregory cups. Now there are condition issues. There's flea bites. Ooh, careful. These were part of a lot, so they were just kind of extra. I just realized that they're coordinating too. There's a little boy and a little girl. Fitz and Floyd. I bought quite a bit of Fitz and Floyd this time around. This right here. Give me 1 second, because some guy just walked by the door. Something is happening. I guess they're going to be doing roof work, I would assume. I knew nothing about this, but it is a thing. Also, I don't know why we have all this gooey stuff. Somebody needs to get some Goo Gone on that. Okay, back to the cart. So I purchased some Fitz and Floyd this time around. I have 2 canisters somewhere in these boxes, but these were 2 of the other pieces. Obviously, they're the same series or same theme. They have these shells on them. This one is Fitz and Floyd Classic. Looks like you could actually hang that if you wanted to, add some wire. Surprisingly, there isn't much damage. I'm always saying that about Fitz and Floyd. I'm like, where's the chip? It does have a few paint chips, unfortunately, but they're not that bad. Compared to some of the chips I've seen on Fitz and Floyd. See, just there on the edge. This one back here. Look, there's a little crab hiding in there. I didn't actually see any chips or cracks on this one. I like the shell theme. We also have these little, I don't know, they're just like little plates. I think they're pear point or pear pont. This one says, all the world loves a clown. I don't know if that's a true statement. I've met plenty of people that are not fans of clowns. It's purple. The rest are clear. This one has an eagle on it. This is a Fenton Bell, obviously. Custard glass Fenton Bell. Here we have a McCoy vase. There's actually a tag on here. McCoy Modern vase. It's labeled for me. There you go. That's what that is. And here is an art glass vase. This reminded me of a few pieces that I had purchased recently. I had a red vase. It was a handkerchief style. And then I got the green vase by the same maker in the handkerchief style. I think this might be the same person. There is a signature on it. I did not bother to look it up before filming this, but I may have to see it. I do see a date of 1996 or 1998. But that's a pretty little vase. And then this, check this out. So this is an Italian mask. I have bought ceramic ones from the Goodwill before, and I'm always saying, well, some of those Italian ones can sell for hundreds of dollars. So in good condition, this would sell for hundreds of dollars, but unfortunately, there is some chipping on it. It's not terrible. It doesn't really affect its face. But it's kind of, I don't know, it kind of strikes me as like a Mardi Gras mask or something like that. Masquerade mask. But it does have the hanger there on the back, and it is signed G. Dante. So that one is Italian. A lot different than some of the ones we've picked up from Japan. Much more expressive, I would say. Underneath here is some coin glass. I'm not sure if that's Fostoria necessarily, but you can see all the coins in there. That was also an extra. Pretty much the extras here on the cart were this, these, and the little plates. I think the Fenton Bell was also just an extra. And what I mean by that is, when you if you're purchasing a lot of items, I might see one item in that lot that I want, but I have to buy everything. So that's when I get extras, and usually when I get these extras, I make a decision to either list them or put them back in another box and cycle them through another auction. So in this case, these extras made the cut. So there is another box here. I think I might dig through that and see what we have, and then save the other 2 for another day. Well, not very much to see here in the second box. Here is a vase, and it is covered in postage stamps. It's made out of clay. It's a red clay. This was kind of a mystery piece that I just thought it was neat, and so I decided to take a chance on it. I have no idea what it would do, or I couldn't find any others like it. But it is covered in postage stamps. A lot of them are in a different language. Comunicaciones. So maybe it's Spanish or Italian. I'm not exactly sure. But they're kind of decoupaged on there. And on the base of it, it says G. Weissenberger, Nancy. And I tried looking that up and I couldn't really find anything similar. So it's a bit of a mystery. This headless statue right here is very important. It's marked Coyote, and it doesn't look like much, I know. And that's how it was in the lot. But if you look at this, Suddenly it has a head, and suddenly it's worth a couple $100. I noticed that the head was missing, but the head was in the lot. It just was not attached. So the head actually does go on like that. It does look like there may be damage on the nose. I can't really tell. There's no reason why those two can't be reattached, or, you know, maybe they were never attached to begin with and they're just supposed to be like that. I don't know. But I forget who the artist is. I did look it up before bidding on this. You can see there is a signature under that felt. But yeah, Worth Point had really strong comps on this. So I was like, you know what? I need that. I think I paid $80 for the lot. There were other items in the lot. Can't remember exactly what the other items were, but I'm assuming it was maybe these two pieces. This is a faux scrimshaw. It's made of resin. Horatio Nelson. And the HMS Victory. So it is fake. It is not real. And then the clear glass diamond stars, which I haven't looked up comps in a while, but I don't believe that the clear moon and stars is a very strong resale value, so I'll have to make a decision on this piece. I know you guys are always like, just list it, I'll buy it, but it's I don't know. So that's it for the second box. I'm very excited about this creature right here. I'm gonna call it a coyote. Very excited about the coyote, and we still have 2 boxes to go through here. It looks like the Fitz and Floyd might be hiding. I see a little deer, but we're going to save this box for an upcoming video. So I hope you guys enjoyed going through those boxes with me. I'm going to spend a little bit of time listing today before I head off on a thrifting adventure. I'm not quite sure where I'm going yet, but I was already at the new house this morning watching the birds and drinking coffee. I know it's weird. We're not even living there yet. And I'm like, I just want to spend time there. So I was just parked drinking coffee and watching birds, which was amazing. I put the seed out on the little table thing, and I pulled into the driveway this morning. There were like 6 squirrels that went scattering, and then I saw like so many different kinds of birds. It was like mourning doves and a rose-breasted grosbeak, I think is what it's called. Even a pileated woodpecker came over and just started like pecking at the table. It was crazy. I don't think I've ever seen that many birds congregated in one place. I did not see the bluebird again, but I did see cardinals. So that's gonna be fun. I was thinking of maybe setting up a camera and watching the birds. I thought that would be fun. This is now the bird channel. We're gonna watch birds. No, I'm just kidding. But I'm gonna get out of here now. Hope you guys enjoyed this, and I will see all of you tomorrow. So long.
Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video. In case you spotted something you just can't live without, we do post 25 to 30 new items in our eBay shop every single day, and I've posted a link to that down in the description.